Hi everyone. Welcome back to Just Be Normal. I'm very excited to be filming my second episode now, and it's a new little setup. This is my dad's house. You can see my pile of clothes on the back, which is usually on this chair, so I had to like boot her off to the side. My drawers that have been broken since I got them in like the 7th grade. Yeah. And then my Harry Potter poster and my Jack Skellington moon tapestry thing, which I love very much, and all the rest. But this is my desk at my dad's, and I have a ring light set up, if you couldn't tell. I always love whenever influencers have a ring light set up and you can tell it's a ring light because if you look in the pupils of their eyes, it's the ring light. But yeah, okay. This is episode 2 of Just Be Normal. And I'll just kick it off. First of all, I'm filming this on a Wednesday, and I just watched the new episode of Agatha All Along. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like, it was such a bittersweet episode. If you know, you know, like, hopefully by Saturday, it's Sunday, I push this out on Sundays. Hopefully by Sunday you've watched the new episode, if you're into that show. But it's just like, it's so good, and I can't wait. Like, I need to watch both the episodes when they come out next Wednesday. Like, I'm excited. I'm so excited. I love the show so much. It makes me feel so, like, like, giggly. I love it. Yeah. Not much else going on. Working on theater rehearsals. Yeah. My hair's growing out slightly. It was, like, here at the beginning of the school year, so grown out, and hopefully it'll keep growing out. I don't know why I wouldn't keep growing out. I'm not gonna cut it. But yeah, I'm very excited. I still have a lot of support on this, and I'm very happy about that. Someone offered to buy me a tiny microphone. Thank you. Will hopefully have one, whenever I'm financially stable enough to have one. I know they're like $8, but you guys just don't understand what a week it's been for me. Anyway, okay. Hopefully this will become a lot more like natural for me. I'm used to, again, just talking on my little Snapchat private story, and I don't know, it's still so weird that like a larger audience can like reach this, and it's like, but again, very exciting. So yeah. Okay, I'm kicking off today with talking about Swiftie Nation. Controversial a little bit, but I don't know. Okay, so basically, I I don't know if I would still consider myself a Swiftie. Like, this is literally what I'm diving into, is like, what makes a Swiftie versus a Taylor Swift fan? Because I love her music, I love her lyrics, I love everything, I love her, and Swifties have taken Taylor Swift fandom to a whole nother level of like craziness that I don't personally agree with and I can't associate with anymore. You know, I was a Swiftie for a while, you know, up until like this year basically, where I went to the Eras tour. It was so fun. It was so magical and beautiful, and I still talk about it sometimes. And I love Taylor Swift so much, but then you get online and you see all these people who are like, what were her parents going to name her if she was a boy? What's her second middle name that was leaked on the internet in 2014? And it's like, and then it's like stupid things like that. And then it's like, oh, if you don't know these things, like, you can't be a real Taylor Swift fan and you suck and I'm gonna call you a racist slur. What? Like, it's just like, it's gotten so out of hand. Like, things with any fandom, really, I feel like this new generation of 12-year-old girls are so much worse than we were, than my generation was. In my opinion, like everybody's different, everybody's ruthless in their own way. But as a whole, I just feel like it's so much more. And maybe it is internet exposure. Like, when I was 12 or 13, I was just then like getting a phone and getting internet access and TikTok and all that. And so all I had were like the edits, and I could comment like, fire, so hot, like, but now there's all these little 12-year-old girls who have had internet access and know these big words and the meanings and just say things without thinking, and it's like, God, like, what? Like, go blog on Tumblr, girl. Like, who are you? Go tweet this on Twitter or X. Go write in a blog. Like, don't comment on my TikTok where I say I love Taylor Swift and say name 35 songs. Like, who are you? I don't know. Like, what do you think makes you so special as a 12-year-old fangirl? And I'm saying 12-year-old fangirl a lot, but that's just the first thing that comes to mind. Like, there are middle-aged women out there as well who are like, if you can't name every single Taylor Swift song, then you can't call yourself a real fan. And if you're calling yourself a fan, even though you don't know all her song names, then you're a bitch. And it's like, whoa, you're 35, man. Let's bring it here. Let's bring it here, actually. Not even here. Here. Like, it's just, and it pushed me away so hard because, again, like, I still love her music and everything about her, but it's just, when you have so many people who are creating a toxic community of, like, this and that and this and that, it's just, it pushes you away so much. Like, and I've been a part of other communities online that have grown into toxic settings or environments, and it's just, you don't want to be a part of it anymore because you watch a video or you see a post or something about it, and you just like, you like it, you comment, you say something, and then there's all these 40 people who are now attacking you where they're like, well, do you know about this and this and this and this and this? And it's like, no, I just enjoy this thing. I'm not psychoanalyzing it, Like, I can't really compare it. I'll circle back to what I'm thinking about. But it's just, these people became so crazy about Taylor Swift, and it's like, again, like, I love her. I love her music. I love everything. But, and it's like the same people who were like, oh, you guys should support Taylor Swift, like, stop asking about her dating life, stop blah 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 blah, are the same people who are commenting like, Joe, come back to us, like, Maddie Healy's a bitch. Like, when she says don't comment on her dating life, she means don't comment on her dating life, People in the fandom started making up these rules that they're like, oh, well, she just means, like, not about this relationship. No, like, it's everything. It's just, it's simple, common, basic knowledge. Like, you wouldn't go up to some random middle-aged woman on the street and be like, hey, how many exes do you have? Tell me about them. Okay, here's why I think you were really good with this one, and this one sucks, and this one that. And this middle-aged woman is probably just like, what? And of course Taylor Swift removes herself from online things, but I have watched Miss Americana where she talks about how she went through a phase where she was constantly online searching for herself and Googling herself. So I'm sure she still sees these things in some way, some form. It's like opinions hurt people, and opinions hurt other people with opinions. Like, it's inevitable. But it's just like, it became so much, and like, all these girls were now like making edits of her, like the Eras tour, and they were like, I don't I don't even know how to describe this, but it's just like the level of obsession. It was like one person decided that to be a fan, you had to be this level of obsessed, and then everyone else who was not that level of obsessed could not be classified as a fan. And it's so stupid because I feel like in general, I'm a little nonchalant about things I'm a fan of, I'm saying that that's a lie. Like, that's such a lie. Anything that I am, like, a fan of, I'm up there. I'm up there. But I don't make other people feel like crap about it, you know? Like, um, okay, example. So in the 8th, okay, well, okay. I used to be super, super duper obsessed with the actress Helena Bonham Carter, okay? And I know, I know my friends from the past are watching this, and I apologize for who I was during that time in my life. But also, not really. And I still love that actress and everything she's done, but like I was up there, like I was super fan. Like I was watching all the movies she had ever been in and reading the interviews, watching the interviews. Oh my gosh, I was in a group chat. I'm still in a group chat. It's just not active. And it's just like I still follow like the Helena Bonham Carter like updates page on Instagram cuz she doesn't have Instagram. And it's just like I was so up there and like into it, and it just like I don't know. And you know, I would follow other like I wasn't a fan page, okay? I was not one of them girls, hon. I just made videos where I was like, love her, you know, or like videos to like audios of her or something. But you know, I would follow all the different like fan pages and edits pages and all that, and not once that I saw was someone like, oh, I love her, but I've only seen these movies. You know, the comment reply would just be like, okay, and like, you're still a fan, like, or they'd be like, oh, I loved her in like Harry Potter. And that was considered like the basic one. Like, you know, like if you had only seen her in Harry Potter, then you were basic. But no one was ever commenting that, like, oh, not a real fan. Like, you haven't seen this super underground movie she filmed in 2012. Like, no one was doing that because a fan is a fan. If you like something, you like something. And it doesn't matter how into it you are, you know, you like something. It's like nowadays, people, again, especially with music artists, you're like, oh, I started listening to this artist and I really like them. I really like their style and their songs. And then your friend who's been obsessed with them for 5 years is like, well, you're not a real fan because you only just started listening to them and I've been listening to them for 5 years. Is it a jealousy issue? Are you afraid that, like, I'm gonna get front row tickets to their next concert because I started listening to them? Like, and I haven't been listening as long as you? Like, what does this even mean? You know, the people who are like, I'm gatekeeping this music, I'm gatekeeping this movie. Why? Because you want to be the number one fan because no one else can be as special as you are? Let me tell you something. You're not special for being obsessed with something. You're not. And I've had to tell myself that so many times because I get so into it with obsessions where I'm like, this is literally me. This is literally my personality. This is literally my life. And then it's like, okay, take a step back from that and stop latching on to something to be obsessed with and look at yourself. Who are you? What do you like? And I realize as tweens and teenagers, it's kind of inevitable. Like we're always looking for something or someone to latch onto or base ourselves onto or be obsessed with or tell someone that we like this thing or this person or this movie, this musical, this music artist. We're looking for something always. And it's inevitable that we're going to do that. But it's when it gets to a certain level of like, I don't want to say insanity, but insanity with it, where it's like, this is me, this is my life. Everyone else who thinks they enjoy this is stupid because they're not me. It becomes a matter of being egotistical about something, in my opinion. You know, you get egotistical where you're like, again, pulling it back to Swiftie Nation, I'm the number one Taylor Swift fan, I'm the biggest Swiftie in the world, and everyone else who says something is stupid because no one else can love Taylor Swift as much as I do, and I have to say this to make myself feel good because I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I've never been that obsessed with Taylor Swift, so I couldn't tell you why people think that. Um, but it's just like, is it the want of knowledge? Is it like, I don't I don't know, but it pushes people away. Communities are supposed to be communities. I feel like I was going to use this example, but I feel like it's not true, where it's like, people in the LGBTQ community who are just, this is kind of a good example, who are just first coming out, where they're like, oh, like, I'm 14 and I think I'm gay. People around them in the LGBTQ community, and hopefully outside of it as well, are going to support them and be like, okay, like, I'm here for you while you're figuring yourself out. Maybe next year they come out as bi. Oh, I'm here for you while you're figuring yourself out. And it's just like, you wouldn't come, you wouldn't, I don't know how to word this. When you come out as gay, in my experience with myself and with other people around me, the LGBTQ community isn't going to be like, well, you haven't been gay for as long as I've been gay, so you're not gay. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. And it's probably not a great thing to compare coming out to being a Swiftie. But it's just the analogy of it, where it's like, it's like babies. Like, a baby who was just born is alive. And a 50-year-old isn't going to be like, well, you can't be alive because I'm alive and I've been here longer than you, so I'm just more alive than you. But you're both alive and you're both on the same planet. You can be a fan without being psychotic about it. Like, and I see that so much, where it's like, oh, I started listening to this band. Well, I've just been listening to that band for 5 more years than you, so it's like my band. It's not your band. Did you start the band? Are you in the band? Have you spoken to the band? Thank you. Thank you. It's okay. And it's just, it kind of pulls into, like, I feel like people are always looking for something to define them. Teenagers are, at least. I'm not an adult. I've never been an adult before, so I couldn't tell you. But it's just like, I feel like we're always looking for something to latch onto, and that also comes along with aesthetics. Everybody's trying to create an aesthetic online. People want their Instagram to be an aesthetic, their TikTok to be an aesthetic, their Snapchat to be aesthetic. Pinterest, I'm on Pinterest. Pinterest is all about aesthetics. Pinterest was created for aesthetics. And it's like, everybody wants to define themselves with something that isn't them. Everybody wants to wear their favorite color because they want other people to associate that color with them and not their personality with them. Or, you talk to people and you're like, oh, I'm an INFPT. And then you name like 5 celebrities or movie characters who are also INFPTs. That way, those people associate you with those actors or characters. My hair's like bothering me. It's been like this the whole time. Okay. But and it's like, people, and this is what gets me, is the people who post on, sorry, I'm like crossing and uncrossing my legs. The people who post on Instagram and try to maintain an aesthetic, like, that I know in person, it's so funny to me. It's really funny because, I'm going to use one example in my mind, but I'm not going to name her. It's like, I know this girl who's always posting things where she's like, trying to give off, like, I'm so cool, I'm so mysterious, I'm so, like, dark and, like, whimsical. And then you see her in person and she's wearing, like, sweatpants and a cropped t-shirt and has an iced coffee and is stressing about studying for a test. Like, aesthetics are fake. Who came up with that? Who came up with aesthetics, man? Like, yes, it's kind of like, to my brain at least, it's a little pleasing to have aesthetics where it's like, oh, this is so softcore, this is so emo grunge. But sometimes it's also stupid when you're relating it to a person and you're like, like, I went through this phase in 8th grade where I had to define myself by an aesthetic. I was constantly taking these, what is my aesthetic quiz? What aesthetic should I be? Blah, 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 blah. Because I wanted something to be that wasn't me because I didn't know who I was. I was 13 and 14. Like, nobody knows who they are at 13 and 14. And if you do, literally, you don't. Like, I'm telling you, you don't. Like, you're going to change so much. Yes, there are so qualities about my 13 and 14-year-old self that I have or have held on to or relate to, but it's just like I'm not the same person I was when I was 13 and 14 because of growth, maturity, experiences, age, all of it. Like, you know, and still today, I do latch onto aesthetics. It's a terribly human thing to do, and that's fine. Like, it's okay to want to have an aesthetic or to try to have an aesthetic. I 100% am into that. I have a Pinterest. I have all my boards for like different aesthetics and things and like associating things with different aesthetics. But I feel like it's gotten so overwhelming in the past couple years where, especially with the internet, where it's like, oh my gosh, clean girl aesthetic? What even is that? I don't agree with clean girl aesthetic. I don't. Like, it's so unobtainable for most people. Two, it's promoting, like, it's giving the idea that, like, your life is never going to be stressful and you're always going to have clear skin and have perfect hair and perfect grades and you're always going to eat healthy and drink good things. And that's just not obtainable for anybody, you know? And I don't like it because it puts a lot of pressure, I think, on people to be like, this is what I should be doing. Like, this is what's good and this is what's better than everything else. When really that's not true. Like, I can't get behind the clean girl aesthetic. Yes, like, I guess it's okay to look at and like, you know, I don't know. But it's just, some days, yes, you will feel very clean girl aesthetic. But the next day, maybe you have a test. Maybe you failed a test. Maybe something stressful came up. Maybe your tire popped. Maybe all your laundry's dirty. Maybe you don't want to do your laundry. And you can't sit there thinking, oh, this is so not clean girl of me. Like, I have to do my laundry. This is not clean girl of me. And you're expecting yourself to uphold an image or a standard that isn't real, honestly. It's not real. Or, like, always the clean girl aesthetic includes like always eating healthy, always eating clean, or drinking good things. By good things, I mean matcha and water. And it's like that's just not obtainable. And that kind of leads into like trigger warning, kind of leads into like eating disorders and eating problems, eating habit problems when the internet is constantly like eat clean, eat green. Like, yes, you should be doing that. That's great. It's really great to incorporate all that into your diet. But also, you're 12 through 20 something or 18. You're gonna want to eat Wingstop and fast food and all this junk, and that's fine. That's fine. That's really, really fine. And it's taken me so long to realize that and still kind of understand that is like, you can do what you want with your body. I do myself try to eat, healthy, clean, healthy-ish food. But also, most 12 to 17 or 18-year-olds live with their parents. And most 12 to 17-year-olds have parents who buy the food. So really, in my opinion, until you move out, it's like you're under your parents' control. What much can you do when the internet is like, you should be eating 3 salads a week and 4 grilled chicken breasts? Like, With what money are you gonna go to the grocery store and buy that? What teenager wants to spend their money on buying all this green crap to eat? No, you want to go to the movies with your friends. You want to go to the mall and buy a new dress. You want to have fun. You don't spend teenage years or tween years focusing on an aesthetic or being perfect or fitting anything. Just be you, and the aesthetic will come. Because at the end of the day, we do want to be defined by something, and I think you should be defined by yourself and what you love. You know, you love to go skating and eat ice cream and watch movies with your friends and have sleepovers like any other normal tween or teenager. And then that's where the association comes. You know, one of your friends goes roller skating. Oh, my other friend really loves roller skating. This makes me smile when I think of them because I associate it with them. You know, like, does this make sense? Like, building an image from yourself comes from you, not what you wear or post online. You know, it comes from you. And yes, you is also what you're wearing and what you're posting. Post mindfully, post nicely, and just don't worry about it. I don't know. Also, I realized you can see my freaking strip LED lights, the cord going up the wall. This is like ultimate like prison room. Like, it's really not a prison room, actually. It's very cute. I love it. You guys can't see my painting corner or my other desk, but yeah, it just kind of gives like boy room from this angle. But yeah, and then with that comes like the hair dyeing and the makeup and the clothing, like I said. Like, I dyed my hair for the first time when I was in 7th grade, but I wanted to dye it way before that. And as you can see, I'm naturally blonde. So I went from blonde to basically like a little bit darker than this. It was like a really, really dark brown. And then from there, I have not had my natural hair color since the 7th grade. And it kind of scares me, but also I'm eating. But yeah, you dye your hair, and like the first time I dyed it, it was just like for funsies. But then after that, I was like, oh, I want purple hair because I want to have this aesthetic. I want red hair because this is my aesthetic. I want black hair because this is my aesthetic. And it just, like it goes and it goes and it goes, and you're changing your physical appearance to be something that you're not. That's what you're doing. You're trying to become something that you're not. And then you start changing your values and your core beliefs and religion even sometimes to try to fit into these boxes or stereotypes to be like, well, this is my aesthetic, so this is the stereotype I have to face. Like, no. Just do what makes you happy. Honestly, I kind of stopped caring about what other people thought recently, which is good. And I will talk about that a little bit, probably not in this video, but eventually. I stopped caring what people in my life thought about my hair color or the makeup I was wearing or the piercings I had or the clothes that I wore or who I hung out with or who I dated and all that. It's really hard and it's easier said than done, but you just have to not care and do what makes you happy, do what makes you feel good, you know? Like, and that's just like, I don't know. It's easier said than done. But moving on with that, makeup kind of goes hand in hand with the hair, where it's like, I've gone through many a phase with my makeup, where it's like, I would do my makeup super like grunge and emo because I wanted to be grunge and emo. And then I would do it, I kept it grunge and emo for a while. And then I did it like super like full base, foundation, powder, everything caked on there because I wanted to be cool basic girl. And then my sophomore year, I kind of stopped wearing makeup altogether because I was like, oh, I just want to be natural. And then, my junior year, I was kind of rediscovering my makeup style and all that, and it was just awkward. It was just it was just awkward to see. But then by the end of my junior year, I had kind of gone back to just like a basic natural look. And then I started off this year, my senior year, by doing like eyeliner and eyeshadow and all that. And most days I do eyeliner and eyeshadow, but today was just like not one of those days. Because I don't care. I don't think I have to maintain an image every time I go out. You know? Yes, I wore a cool all black outfit and eyeliner this day, but the next day, if I want to wear sweatpants and a t-shirt and only wear mascara, that's fine. Because I don't I don't need or want people to associate me with my looks. I want them to associate me with my personality and the moments that I make them laugh or cry or joyous, oh my god, joyous or angry even. Like, I don't want to be seen as a physical person. I want to be seen as an experience to be had. I feel like that sounds way too, like, cryptic, and, like, spiritual, but it's like, I don't care. And, like, the clothing as well. Obviously, I care about my everyday appearance and, like, how I look to the outside world as long as I look good and, like, put together and not, like, crazy, but I feel like people put so much pressure on themselves nowadays. I see it in high school, like, every day, where it's like people always feel the need to have their makeup 100% perfect all of the time. People always feel the need to be doing their hair every single day. People always feel the need to be wearing the same outfits with the same aesthetics every single day because they want people to see them a certain way. And it's like, I promise you, for me at least, I don't care what you're wearing, what your hair looks like, what your makeup looks like, anything. I'm not gonna remember that in 20 years. I'm gonna remember the inside jokes we had, and the time you comforted me when I was crying, and the time we stayed up and called until 2 in the morning. I'm not gonna remember what aesthetic you thought you had in high school. I'm gonna remember you being there for me, you know? Or I'm gonna remember the time that you were rude to me in the hallway. Like, it goes both ways. Um, so yeah, I don't know. This was just kind of something. This is something I'm obviously very passionate about. All my episodes are gonna be something I'm passionate about. But, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about this time around was fandoms and Swiftie Nation and expressing yourself and what defines you. So, yeah. I'm very excited to keep divulging into episodes and myself and sharing that. And I'm literally might as well mention it every episode. All of this is leading up to the graduation episode I plan on pushing out when I graduate. And I don't think you understand how much I am anticipating it, you know? And obviously, like, when it does come out and if people are like, oh, like, this is kind of whatever. Because I wanted to get it out. Yeah, thank you so much for watching and following along, and yeah, that's all I got. So, spread love and kindness, and thank you very much.